with my friends at Fishman. Today's episode is pre-recorded because I've been gigging a lot in LA these days, but don't worry, I'll be back live soon. And I figured today, let's do a fun one from the 90s, very beginner friendly. We're gonna be learning Round Here by the Counting Crows. So what I'd like you to do, get your electric guitar, put it in standard tuning. If you only have an acoustic, totally okay. Can learn this on acoustic too. Sound just as great. And get that nice and tuned up. Standard tuning here for your electric or your acoustic guitar, all right? Again, very cool intro we're gonna be learning, geared towards the beginners, beginner chords, all of that good stuff. So my intermediates and my advanced folks who are watching, let's put some nice words of encouragement in the comments for the beginners who are learning this song along with us today. I would absolutely appreciate it. We've built a great community here. You guys are absolutely wonderful to each other. So let's keep the good vibes going. So standard tuned, electric or acoustic guitar, beginner friendly tune, Round Here by the Counting Crows. And again, you know, I like to ask a question before we get started. So let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite intro of a tune. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. Here we go. Round Here by the Counting Crows. Really fun song. Can't wait to teach it to you. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So first 3 fingers for that intro. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play it nice and slow so you can see the alternate picking that happens with this. All right, so I'm going to play it just a little bit slower than I did at the top, and then I'll walk you through how to play this. So here's the intro. So we're going to do here, we're using these first 3 fingers to play this chord. I want you to get your second finger first, all right? We're going to go ahead and place that on the 7th fret of the G string. That is a D note, D as in dog, okay? Your third finger here, place that on the 8th fret of the B string. That is G, G as in go. And your first finger here, we're going to reach over, okay, placing that on the A note, 5th fret of the high E string. So if we strum all of those notes together, that's what we're looking for when we play this, okay? So you can tell here, you can, if it's comfortable for you, to have your thumb up here. If you need more of a stretch, sometimes having that thumb in the middle of the neck will allow your fingers to elongate a little bit better when you're gripping this chord. So I will leave that up to you. I kind of like to have it behind the fretboard. So that's just me, all right? So what we're gonna do here, again, some great alternate picking that's happening here. So we've got the chord in hand, okay, and now we are going to use the right hand to strike this in a very comfortable kind of way, all right, using alternate picking. And those of you who aren't familiar with alternate picking, it's where we pluck the top of the string and the bottom of the string to create a really nice, clear, smooth picking pattern, all right? So that's what we're going to do here. So for that G string, I want you to strike down, just like that. The next note, okay, it's going to be the high E string. I want you to strike upwards with your pick, so plucking the bottom of the string, plucking upwards. Same goes for that B string, okay, your third finger at the 8th fret. And then striking downward on that G string. that's going to be the first part that we look at. We'll look at the second part in a moment, okay? So let's go ahead and do that nice and slowly. I'll do it with some commentary here to help you with the striking of the string. So downward, pluck up, pluck up, pluck down. And notice how the notes are ringing into one another. This is what we want. If you listen to the original track, it's really beautiful how each note bleeds into the next. Really, really beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and do that a couple times here without the commentary. Notice how those notes are bleeding into one another. This is good. That's what you want. So that's part one, pretty straightforward. Part two sounds like this. And all we're doing there, strike the high E string upward, strike the B string upward, strike downward on that G string, then pluck upward on the B string. So I'll do that again with the commentary. Up, up, down, up. Now here it is without the commentary, nice and slowly follow along. All right, you got this. Here we go. So that's part two. That's it. Just those two parts in that intro. So now what we're going to do here, again, playing it at a slower tempo. Let's go ahead and combine both parts. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. All right? So here we go. More times, here we go, a little bit faster. There's your intro, and there's your first verse. Done, all right? So that's what's happening there. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at the chorus. So this is when the rhythm part really comes in. Again, very beautiful series of chords. Beginner friendly here, beginner friendly. So the chorus sounds like this. I'll play it just a little bit slower than I did at the top. And the chords are gonna be C, D, E minor, and G, okay? Chords that we learn when we first pick up the guitar. So here we go. With a very simple strumming pattern as well here. So what I tell my students and what I tell all of you, okay, let the pick do the work. Don't be forceful with this, especially listening to the original track. You'll see how absolutely delicate this is. And you can really hear the jangliness of the electric guitar. It's just really awesome, awesome production on this tune. So again, basic chords here. Let's talk about them. If you don't know how to play them yet, I'll walk you through it. All right, so we're going to start with C. So first three fingers here, okay, first finger, first fret of the B string, that's our C note. your second finger is going to reach up to the second fret of the D string. That's your E note. E is an elephant. And then third finger here, placing that on the third fret of the A string. That's your C note. So those of you who've been watching these lessons, you know I like to throw in a little bit of theory. The C major chord is built up of 3 notes, C, E, and G, the 1, 3, and the 5. We see all 3 of them present here in the C chord, all right? So we're going to strum from the A string downward. This is how the chord should sound. Just like that, all right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about the strumming pattern. So the strumming pattern sounds like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. All 4 of these chords have the same strumming pattern. So if we can get it on the first one, you can get it on all the other ones too. All right? So down, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. So let's go ahead and practice that with a C chord here. All right? So here we go. I'll do it a little bit slower. Here we go. Like that, okay? So that's our C chord, all right? From there, we're gonna go to a D major. Again, same 3 fingers here, all right? Our target notes that we are looking for in this D major chord, the 3 notes that build up this D major chord, D, F sharp, and A. So keep those in mind. Let's find them here. First 3 fingers. First finger goes in the 2nd fret of the G string. That's our A. So our 5, done. Check it off the list, okay? Second finger, 2nd fret of the E string, which is an F sharp. That's our 3rd. Check that off the list. So, 3rd finger goes here, 3rd fret of the B string, which is a D note. There's our 1. Done. Okay? With this chord, I want you to strum from the open D string. Okay? So the bottom 4 strings. It should sound like this. Okay? For my beginners who are watching too, I've noticed that sometimes this D chord can be a little bit challenging. Know that you're not alone. I was there too when I was first learning. The D chord was a little bit of a challenge. What I would say is this. Get as close to the frets as you can without touching them, okay? Keeping those fingers nice and curled like bridges also helps you to really get nice, finely tuned, okay? A really good press on those strings, okay? So those are the 3 notes there, D, F sharp, and A, strumming from the A string downward, or the D string downward, rather. If you happen to get the A string in there, it's fine. There is an A note in the chord. We're going to try our best to strum the bottom 4 strings. Now, same strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So now let's do it with the D chord. That's it. Now let's do it with C and with D. Here we go. D major. Now, let's make that space between the C and the D chord a little bit smaller. Here we go. See, with that switch, practicing, okay? Perfect practice, well-intentioned practice, makes great songs, okay? Being mindful of keeping that space between chords smaller, working on our switches, being cognizant, right, of where those pivot points are between chord to chord will help you very much between your chord switching, okay? So the next chord after that D chord is going to be an E minor. So we're only going to need 2 fingers for this, our 2nd finger and our 3rd finger, okay? 2nd finger, I want you to place that on the 2nd fret of the A string. That's our B note. And then our 3rd finger here, 2nd fret of the D string, which is E. Now, with an E minor, okay, the tonal centers are slightly different, right? Those numbers, instead of a 1, 3, 5, which builds a major chord, a 1 flat 3, 5 builds a minor chord. In this case, the flat 3 of our E minor is the G note, all right? So it is E, G, and B. Those are our target centers for E minor. We have all of them here. So with E minor, it's a great chord. Strum all 6 strings, should sound like this. Just like that. And guess what? Same strumming pattern. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's do it again. let's combine those 3 chords. Here we go. One more time. Now the final chord in this progression is going to be a G chord. We're going to use all 4 fingers here. First finger, 2nd fret of the A string, that is our B note, B as in boy. 2nd finger, 3rd fret of the low E string, that is G, G as in go. 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the B string, that's our D note, and then our 4th finger, 3rd fret of the high E string, which is going to be a G. Strum everything here. And same strumming pattern. So this progression of C, D, E minor, G, we're going to repeat it twice in that first chorus. Let's go ahead and do it now. Here we go. Let's repeat that again. Just like that. Guess what? We get into the verse, same chords as the chorus. Pretty cool, right? Same chords, verse 2. So we get into our chorus 2, 2nd chorus, okay? So we run through C, D, E minor, G once. Then we do C, D to E minor, and then we get to our bridge. So the 2nd chorus sounds like this. Okay, so at that 2nd half of the 2nd chorus, that's what happens there. We end on the E minor. Then we go into our bridge. Our bridge sounds like this with some new chords. Okay, sounds like this. So let's talk about that. Going into the bridge, we go to an A major chord. So there are many different ways to play an A major chord. I like to play it like this: 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, okay? 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the D string, that's our E note, okay? 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the G string, that's an A, and then our 4th finger, 2nd fret of the B string, which is a C sharp. So again, going back to those tonal centers of A major, A, C sharp, E, 1, 3, 5. There they are. So strum from the A string downward. We're just going to do a down, up, and then you kind of palm mute it a little bit. This part of your hand, you're just going to lightly touch the strings just to deaden the sound. So it'll sound like this. Like that. And using that part of your hand. You don't need to press down on the strings. Just lightly touch them. They'll mute. Okay? Just like that. A lot of wrist movement here more than any elbow movement, okay? A lot of wrist. Just like that. And then with the D chord, kind of strum it a couple times there, okay? D chord we already know. And then we go back to A. And this is the part of the song that gets like a little funky, which is really, really cool. You got the wah part of the lead guitar, which is really great, all right? So from that A chord, we're going to go to an A minor 7. To the best of my ear, and I watched a lot of live versions and listened to the original track, it sounds like an A minor 7 to me. So all it is, this is my beginners, check this out. Okay, C chord, right? We already know how to play that. Just lift up your 3rd finger. So there's your A minor 7. You could even look at it this way. If you know a regular A minor chord, then you would lift up that ring finger as well, and you're there. So how we would play this, okay, your 1st finger should be on the 1st fret of the B string. Your 2nd finger should be on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is an E chord, okay, or an E note rather. So strumming from the A string downward. cool, like A minor's jazzy cousin. Okay, so just like that really beautiful chord. Okay, and the notes there that we are looking for are A, C, E, and G. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, and there they are, okay? Just like that. Now, this is the part where the sleeping children better run like the wind, okay? This is that part of the song. So we have that A minor 7, and then you go to a D chord after this. And you can play the regular D chord like this. However, I will give you another option. So with the regular D chord, it sounds like this. And then we go back to an A. So A minor 7, D to A. That regular D chord sounds great. However, if you wanted to give it a little more, if you really like how that A minor 7 sounds, you can kind of do this too, which I found is really neat. And I was watching some live version. It sounds like it's what they did. Is you bring this shape up a whole step. So your first finger will be on the 3rd fret of the B string, and your second finger will be on the 4th fret of the D string. Kind of a cool chord, right? So what that would sound like, this is an option too if you want to stick to the regular D major, it's great. But this is what that would sound like. This is part of the bridge where we slide, okay, that A minor 7. So it would sound like this. It's kind of cool too, so I will leave that up to you. So what I'll do here is I will play both versions, and know that at the end of the bridge we go to a C chord, then to a D chord, okay? And I'll call those out when we get there. Okay, so here's the top of the bridge. A to D, to A minor 7, D, back to A. Now no commentary. That's one way to play the bridge with that D chord there. Now, let's do the one that slides. Top of the bridge, here we go. A. Pretty cool, right? So again, both options, totally cool. Watching live versions of the Counting Crows, these guys play this song different every time. I have not seen a live version that is exactly like another live version. They're so great. This is such a beautiful, beautiful song if you're not familiar with it. Beautiful lyrics, really beautiful production, great tune, easy chords, fun to play, great sing-along too. So that's what's happening there. We go through another verse, we go through another chorus. That's pretty much the tune. Now, something, since we have a little bit more time, I did want to throw this in because I think it's a really fun part, and definitely beginner friendly, is there's some really cool little electric riffs that are in the bridge. It's a great little thing. It's kind of like this A minor groove. So to the best of my ear, and if you have a wah, oh my gosh, it sounds great with wah. So what we're gonna do here is I will break this down into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So we've got part 1. And again, just A minor groove here. It's awesome. So get that 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D string, which is an A note. And notice how I am alternate picking with this. I'm not doing. See how it sounds a little more robotic versus the alternate picking, which I'm a huge fan of. you go to that 5th fret of the D string, then come right back to the 7th fret. So this is being played over that A. Great little riff, and very simple to play. So now the next part sounds like this. To the best of my ear. So what we're doing there, just going back between G and A. So 5th fret of the D string, you're going to strike that 3 times. And then going to that 7th fret, to that A. And even if you want to do a little hammer on, why not? Again, just really feel the groove of this. I encourage you, listen to the original track, and you can see how it gets really cool and really right in that like sweet spot of the pocket. Oh, it's so great. So let's combine parts 1 and part 2. Let's do that again. Let's do just one hit of the A note at the end. I was getting too into it. Here we go. Just like that. Okay, let's do that again. Now from there, we're going to go back to phrase 1. Okay, so part 3 is part 1. So let's go ahead and do that again. Parts 1, 2, and 3. Let's do that again. Now, part 4, a little bit different than the rest, sounds like this. Again, very cool, A minor grooving, okay? So get that first finger, 5th fret of the D string. A little bit of a ghost note in there too, which I think is great. And then, okay, so 5th fret of the D string. What we're going to do there, first finger, 5th fret of the G string. Strike that 2 times. Hammer on to the 7th fret of the G string. Then go back to the 5th fret of the G string. Okay, so it sounds like this, a little slower. Just like that. Let's do all 4 parts. Here we go. Let's do it one more time. Just a cool, again, beginner-friendly A minor little riff, super, super fun. So that's the tune, guys. Again, a really fun song to play, beginner-friendly, sounds great on acoustic or electric, so whatever you're comfortable with, I know it's gonna sound awesome. So, as always, you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're digging the tones that I am getting with these awesome Fishman Fluence pickups, you can check out the link down below and see all the gear that I use for these lessons. It is just such a blast hanging out with you guys every Saturday. Again, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. I love the really kind community we've built here. I love how kind everyone is to one another in the comment section. Know that I see it. And I just think it's really, really great. I really love what we're building here. And again, thank you to all of you. Tune in week after week and bring your friends. And it's just great. I really hope these lessons are helping you learn some of your favorite songs. I know they're all songs that I love too. So as always, wishing you so much success in your musical journey. If you haven't already, you can check out my new EP, The Voices, on my website. We just pressed some vinyl and it sounds awesome. So link is in the video too. Again, wishing you so much success. Have a wonderful